Okay, brothers and sisters, I want to discuss Matthew chapter 24, verse 40 to 41. But before I get to that, I want to discuss Matthew chapter 24, verse 37 to 39. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark, and they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be. That's how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man, referring to the second coming. The Son of Man is a Jewish term. Now, I want to get into this. 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left. 2 women will be guarding with a handmill, one will be taken and the other left. Many people make the mistake of thinking this is the rapture, but it has nothing to do with that mysterious event. It is a condition of what Jesus was saying about the days of Noah and all those who were removed from the earth by drowning in the great flood. Here it is telling us 2 men will be in the field, one will be removed for judgment and the other left. It will be that way for women also. 2 women will be guarding with the handmill, one will be removed for judgment and the other left. Those who are left will help repopulate the earth during the millennium. The context indicates that the one who is taken in judgment, much like the people who perished outside the ark, as instrument. In the previous context, Matthew chapter 24, verse 39, also according to Luke chapter 17, verse 37, those who are taken are killed, and the vultures eat their bodies. This is exactly the opposite of the rapture. In the parable of the weeds in the field is the world. That parable teaches that Jesus will send his angels out at the end of the age to collect the weeds, the wicked people, and throw them into the fiery furnace where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. God intends to remove the wicked from the earth at the end of the age, so they cannot enter the millennium at the second coming. They will be taken away and held for judgment before the great white throne of God. That is after the 1,000-year reign. Now, Scripture is very clear that the one who is taken in judgment. Because so many people, they're not paying very close attention to the details. You have to remember, at this point in time, the rapture was unknown. When Matthew was written, the rapture was hidden. As Paul stated, when he said, "Behold, I show you a mystery." It was a mystery. It was unknown at this time. Jesus is clearly talking about future events that will be leading up to his second coming. What will be happening on the day of his second coming. As he said, just as it was in the days of Noah. They did not know what was going to happen until the flood came and what? Took them all away. So shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. Now, who were the ones that were taken in the time of Noah? It was the wicked that were taken. Noah was left in the ark with his family. It was the wicked that were taken by the flood, and they perished. Jesus saying, this is exactly how it will be at my second coming. People will not know what's about to happen. They'll think everything's ended, and then all of a sudden, bang! The angels will come, cast them into hell, by means of physical death, obviously. And then, those that are left will go right into the millennium. You can see this also in Matthew chapter 13. Let me start from verse 29. Talking about the wheat and tares. But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up. But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye up you root up also the wheat with them. Look at this. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, look, I will say to the reapers, gather ye to, look at this, gather ye to, okay, let me start it over. Let both grow together until the harvest. In the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye to gather first. You see, first. What's going to happen first? Gather the tares first, the tares, and bind them in barns to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn, which is the millennium. It's the wicked that is taken to judgment. It's very clear. And go to the book of Luke. So the one that is taken in judgment. Because many people make the mistake and say, the one that is taken into the millennium, and the one that is left to go to hell. But that's not what the scripture says. It's very clear. I will say to the reapers, first, gather the tares. The tares are the children of the devil. Gather the tares first, and cast them into the barns, and they are burned. Like it says in Matthew 13. So it will be talking about when they lay down their nets, and they grab the net out. They had good fish and bad fish. They threw the good fish away, and they kept the good fish. Jesus says, so it shall be at the end of the age. The angels will come forth and separate the righteous from the wicked, and cast them into the furnace of fire, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's in Matthew chapter 13, verse 49. Here, let me read that part. Verse 49. 49. So it shall be at the end of the world, the angels shall come forth, and sever the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. That's exactly what's going to happen. So let us go to Luke chapter 17. Luke chapter 17. I'll start from verse 36. What does it say? Actually, I'll start from here, verse 34. I tell you, in that night there shall be two men in one bed, the one shall be taken, and the other shall be left. Two women shall be guarding together, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Two men shall be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. So they're asking Jesus now, where are they taken? Now, what does Jesus say? Look, let's continue. Verse 37. And they answered and said unto him, Where, Lord? And he said unto them, Wherever the body is, either will the eagles be gathered together. Now go back to Matthew. Wherever the body is, there the eagles will be. Another translation says, Wherever the body is, there the vultures will gather. Go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 28. It says, For wherever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. His second coming is the time of judgment. The one that is taken in judgment. And the one that is left to enter into the millennium. Let's go to Matthew chapter 25, verse 31. Talking about the judgment of the nations, and this is exactly what it's talking about. This is not a place you want to be taken to. This is clearly talking about hell. Matthew chapter 25, verse 31 says, When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered. Remember he said he'd gather the righteous and the wicked? Will be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides the sheep from the goats. Then go to verse 36. Look what it said, or 35. For I was hungry, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and clothed me. I was sick. It's verse 37, okay, where I want to focus on. This is Jesus talking. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee hungry or fed? It's not there. It's probably 34. Yeah, it's verse 34. Sorry. Matthew chapter 25, verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the what? The kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. From the foundation of the world. And what does he say to the wicked? Verse 41. It's very clear what he says to the wicked. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. The devil. Now, they're cast in a lake of fire. They're taken to hell. They are taken to hell. Now, who is the only group that is standing there? Who is left after the wicked are taken to hell? Who's left? The righteous are left to go into the millennium. So it's totally reversed the rapture. This has nothing to do with the rapture. The rapture was hidden. It was unknown at this time. Matthew chapter 24 to Matthew chapter 25, it's all part of the olive discourse. The olive discourse that Jesus is telling, the things that will be leading up to his second coming and to his kingdom, and what will happen at that time point. These people didn't know anything about a rapture. Jesus is not talking about that. That was clearly kept a secret until the Apostle Paul came along. He just revealed little bits of it to in the upper room discourse. When he says, Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God. You believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you so. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, so that where I am, there you also may be. And it's very clear that the angels are gathering. At the rapture of the church, we are caught up. Jesus said, I will come again. There's no angels mentioned at the passages of the rapture. The rapture was clearly a mystery. It's very clear. Let's just go to it. In Corinthians chapter 15, what does Paul say? It's a mystery, which means it was never revealed ever before. It's the very first time that he's talking about this, because God revealed this to him. Paul is saying in verse 51 from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, Behold, I show you a what? A mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. That's the mystery. It has nothing to do about Matthew. Matthew is clearly talking to the Jews. He's answering their question. He's answering their question, what shall be the sign of thy coming? So he's leading it all out. Things that have been leading up to his second coming, and what will happen after his second coming is when he sets up his kingdom. It's very clear. And if you go to the book of Romans, chapter 16, verse 25, Romans 16:25, what does it say? Romans 16, verse 25 says, Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Jesus Christ, according to the revelation of the mystery which was kept secret since the world began, but now is made manifest, and by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandment of the everlasting God, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith. It was a mystery. God has a new program running out right now, and that is the church. That's why Israel is going through the time of their trouble, Jacob's trouble, 70th week. He still has 7 years to fulfill to them. He has another program for the church that is running right now. And God cannot start working with Israel until the church is out of here. and then He'll focus back to them. That's the scriptures, and this is all I got to say, and God bless, and thank you for watching.